Good evening and welcome to the Decatur County Fair. It is the final day.
I'm Joshua Marsh alongside Emily Versman, and tonight's Holzbosch Dairy live at 5 on WTRE, powered by Cobia Solar, would normally be live from the Vinyl Solution stage. But tonight, we're on Lures Ideal Rides Midway, and we're going to take on that thing later this evening.
I promised you all week that we'd be out here, and finally, I've got him here. It's the final night of the fair. It's free parking, and every ride's going to be open. Every food stand is open. Livestock auction has been completed. The barns are empty. Projects are being picked up. So it is the final night, but we're going to make the best of it.
We've got a lot in store tonight. We're going to wrap up the fair for the 2024 season, and we can't wait to talk about what 2025 brings and our favorite memories from 2024.
So stay with us tonight. You gotta wait till the end, but you're gonna see it all go down right here on the Midway.
We're live from the fairgrounds on the west side of the fairgrounds, the Farm and Home Building. We hope you'll join us. If you're on YouTube, be sure to like that subscribe button, or come and join us listening on WTRE 1330 104.3 FM.
Good evening and welcome back to the Decatur County Fairgrounds. We're coming to you live from the Farm and Home Building. This is the final day of the Decatur County Fair.
So if you were watching along on YouTube, you got to see us out on the Midway about an hour ago, where we filmed our entry for the last night. So welcome to the last night of the Decatur County 4-H Fair. We are back on the Vinyl Solution stage in the Farm and Home Building, as Emily said. So this evening sort of wraps up the fair. We're going to talk to a few more guests that are still out here. There is still stuff to do. The rides are going to open at 6. There is no grandstand event tonight, but there will be plenty of other opportunities, including WTRE's Attitude event immediately following the Live at 5.
That's right. Our Attitude finale will start at 6 o'clock. We're any Attitude shirt from any year, and you'll want to get in here, get signed up. Lots of prizes to be given away, including 2 TVs that we're going to give away tonight. So that'll be right here in the Farm and Home Building. Again, no grandstand event. The livestock auction did take place today, so all of the animals have moved on to different homes now. And 4-H projects and open classes start getting picked up around 7. So if you've not made your way into the buildings, you want to make sure and do that this evening.
That's right, and we have our first guest, which is Miss Decatur County for the year. Now, we talked to you earlier this year, or this week. There's a little bit that's happened since then, so tell us what's going on and what your favorite memory from the fair has been.
Let's see. Went out on the Midway again last night, so got to ride some more rides. I picked up my first bag of cotton candy, which I'm surprised it's only the first one for the week, and my first personal funnel cake I didn't have to fight off with my family. Went and got to watch my first full livestock auction, and then get ready to wrap it up for the week.
What's something that you learned in this last week that you really didn't know going into being Miss Decatur County?
I don't know. Maybe how much work goes on behind the scenes. Like I feel like I've seen some of these people not sit down at all, not stop. They're always driving by and moving something. They've got something they're on a mission to go and do, and it really makes you stop and think of oh yeah, people have to be out here, groundskeepers, restocking water and all these coolers for the judges and just little stuff like that.
So what if you off the top of your head had to pick out your favorite moment of the 2024 fair?
Oh, getting the text from one of the teachers I worked with this past year saying, hey, come ride the boat. So I did that for the first time in I think a few years, and I walked off and I was semi-okay, but definitely that feeling again. Also retiring from gymnastics, it was not a familiar feeling anymore, but I went out and did it, and it was pretty fun. So
We can say we understand.
yes.
So what are you looking forward to? This goes on a whole year. There's a lot of things that involve Miss Decatur County. Anything in particular you're looking forward to?
Definitely. I'm a big fall festival person. I like going out there, any sort of around the holidays thing, and then also being able to go out and do just some smaller things. Like I had stopped by the animal shelter earlier today and kind of started to talk about if Court and I came out and volunteered a few times, and just the little things and even some of the holiday things I'm pretty pumped for.
Good. Any favorite food overall this year that you've had?
My own personal funnel cake, probably. It tastes so much better when you don't have to share,
It was all yours. I can see the pure joy in your face.
Yes.
Well, we thank you for being here. You've been a great queen. Did your frog turn into a prince?
No, but right before he hopped out the door, so I just really think he was trying to avoid that kiss. But even in the hailstorm, he braved, and you might not have seen it, but if you go back and watch, there's about 20 people who just shoot for this door behind me, and about 5 minutes later, he comes in holding the frog, which we thought was lost way out here, but he just, I guess, really didn't want to turn into a prince for me, so.
You tried.
I did, I tried.
That has to be a great story, obviously in your year of reign that is just beginning. So there's surely going to be a lot more of those where we wish you a lot of luck. We'll continue to see you around at different events, including the Fall Festival. But the fair is always the big one, so that wraps it up. And of course, with the Holiday Walk, Emily and I always host the parade at the Holiday Walk as well, so I'm sure we'll see you there downtown for Main Street, Greensburg's Holiday Walk in December. What else are you looking forward to as we adventure through the year?
Oh, going back into the schools. I know Madeline went and did some Christmas activities out at North, and because I graduated from Greensburg and did most of my years in the elementary at Greensburg, but then working at North this past year, I know I get to go and visit too a few times, so that too. Just being able to I was a student, and then I worked there, and now I get to go visit as a whole different role.
We do want to take a minute, though, and thank your court. You've had a great court with you this year. Who was on your court?
My court was Kennedy Steer and Carly Thomas, and then I hung out a lot this week, too, with the 4-H court.
Very good. Well, we hope you enjoy your year. You're headed off to Purdue?
I am.
All right. Well, good luck. Enjoy.
Thank you.
And we'll see you around town.
Okay. We're going to take a short break, but before we do, we want to be sure we thank our sponsors, Decatur County REMC, the Overmeyer Agri Group, Decatur County Recycling, the Napoleon State Bank, Stone's Farm Services, George's Pharmacy, Steer Heating and Cooling, Acra Automotive Group, Kochmeyer Brothers, and Dave Henderson for Decatur County School Board. We're going to take 2 minutes, and we'll be back from the Farm and Home Building at the Decatur County 4-H Fairgrounds. Good evening and welcome back to Live at 5, presented by Holzbosch Dairy, powered by Cobia Solar, live from the Vinyl Solutions stage. And we have our next guest.
We do. We are joined by Amanda and Holly from DCMH's, we'll say therapy departments. That's the right way to go?
Yep. I think the long version is rehab services.
Okay.
Because we have a lot now.
So you guys are you're going to move into sports season coming up, and I think that's one of the biggest concerns and thoughts to put out there.
Yes, so it is that time. As the athletic trainer at Greensburg, I'm getting ready to switch back into sports mode from being in the office, and getting kids prepared and acclimated to heat and weather and all of those things as well. So getting back into their seasons for sure.
All right, now Holly, once Amanda kind of treats somebody, a lot of times you end up with them.
Correct, yes.
So tell us what your role is.
So I'm a physical therapist at the hospital. So what I'll do is if someone gets injured, maybe with Amanda or something on the sideline, on the game, she will evaluate them, and if she feels like it's going to need prolonged care, she'll send them to a doctor, and then they'll send them over to me, and we'll take care of it and help them rehab back to normal.
Concussions are a big concern for everybody, and that's been a highlight even with IHSAA here the last few years.
Yes.
Let's go with some guidelines of concussions and how that works in the process to get back into a game.
So for me, if any athlete ever has a mechanism of injury, so we saw how their head moved, how it hit another player, how it hit the turf, how it bounced off of something, they have that mechanism and they have any of those signs and symptoms. They're dizzy, they're dazed, they're confused, they're nauseous, they're throwing up, they've lost consciousness, they can't remember what the play before was or who we played last week. Some of those memory type things, they're done with me and they're having a seat, because you only get one brain. We can't fix that. We can't replace that. So we don't mess around with it. And then from that point on, then they go to see their medical providers to get officially diagnosed, and they will be the ones that clear them for return to play. Sometimes we do have athletes that have lingering symptoms that need some different and specialized care, and that's when they'll sometimes come see Holly.
So I see patients who have prolonged concussion symptoms, and when they do, maybe it's more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that they'll come in and see me, and I'll do some testing on them, get a baseline of where they are at that time, and I put them through different activities and different things that are going to challenge them slightly, but just educate them in the way to allow their brain to heal the best. And then I'll reassess them at the end, and then when they've been back to their baseline, then I send them back to the doctor to get cleared to go back to their athletics or whatever, work. Sometimes concussions happen at work or in a motor vehicle accident or anything like that.
All right, you guys moved into a fabulous new building this year. Tell us about your services. You always offer great services, but you're in a new building with more space.
Yes. So we have physical, occupational, speech therapy, cardiac rehab, and pulmonary rehab are all in the new building space. So we've kind of combined some departments to be in this new space together. And then Holly can tell you a little bit about some of the specifics of the building itself.
So inside the building, we have a track that kind of goes around all the different areas in the main gym, and we have a lot of private treatment rooms for everybody to go to if they need some privacy with their therapy. We have a lot of new equipment in there, whether it be bikes or other types of cardiac or cardio equipment. We also have new machines that help us with treatment, such as this machine called the BTE, which helps with patients who have maybe something repetitive that they have to get back to doing. We can play with that and just make them be more comfortable when they return back to work. We also have something that we can use for concussion patients or anybody with any type of neurological or orthopedic injury, where I have this large TV that I put on, it's basically like a game where they're touching things for reaction time, or, we're walking down in a grocery store and you see the groceries pass by you and you're trying to find different things in there. So there's a lot of different new things that we can offer over there, and we have a lot more space to do it in. So.
All right, and Amanda, you'll be back at Greensburg for athletic training?
I will, yes. So
Okay.
Back to the Greensburg, back to the field, the Pirate Field, out on the turf. Lots of games coming up, so it'll be good times.
All right. Anything else from the rehab department you guys want to talk about tonight?
Not from my perspective. Sports-wise, we just want to make sure to mention that sports physicals are coming up. We have the first one of those tomorrow night at Tree City Medical Partners, and all of the funds are going back to the school that the kids come from. So if you're bringing cash, it's going into the envelope for that school. If you bring a check, you're writing it out to your school. So it's going back to the schools. So that's an exciting thing for this year. And there's another one on, what's the other night? July 24th. So those are both from 4 to 7.
No appointment is needed, but spots will be limited. So plan accordingly.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you guys both for being here tonight and a great awareness about concussions and all the sports stuff.
And we'll be in the DCMH tent all night. So if you guys do have some specific questions to us, come and see us before 8 o'clock.
All right.
Perfect. Well,
Thanks so much.
thanks to the DCMH team and for Emily for hosting this star-studded panel on healthcare that I am not qualified to talk on. So we'll be right back from the Decatur County 4-H Fairgrounds with our next section on the Live at 5.
Thank you, guys.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Decatur County 4-H Fairgrounds. Our next guest is Matt Mobley with the Holzbosch Dairy. Of course, they've been our title sponsor this year, which we're eternally grateful for to make sure that these kinds of programs can keep happening. Matt, I know when we talked earlier in the week, you were really insistent we keep talking about the youth and the kids and making sure that we're promoting agriculture. So today was the big sale. Did you have an opportunity to attend the livestock auction?
No, I had obligations outside of there, and then tonight we have a group of volunteers coming from the dairy to help support Let's Volunteer Fire Department's fish booth.
So you're frying up fish tonight?
We're frying up fish tonight for the people. So no, we didn't have an opportunity to go to the auction. I did go to the cattle show the other night. Amazing show. I broadcasted for you guys.
Yep.
Live stream is an amazing show. Great deal.
We also learned yesterday as well, and this is not, I want you to know how much we appreciate the dairy's involvement, that you guys support the 4-H Dairy Kids with their milkshake project. That's a big fundraiser for them, and I know that's important for you guys to keep dairy going in Decatur County.
Well, it's as much about the youth as it is anything. If we can motivate one person out of there to think about something in the agricultural industry for a career or a career choice, I mean, that's a great deal. Very few of us doing it. We're always looking for great talent to help expand on these. And I think we mentioned the other night, there's more than just carrying a pitchfork to the barn about working on a farm. I mean, a lot of these guys carry laptops. So it's a diverse world and a multitude of occupations within that diverse world.
You've had a chance to be more involved this year at this year's fair. And we appreciate you being on with us. What are some things that you've taken away from the Decatur County Fair this year?
Well, oddly enough, I've raised cattle all my life, but I've never shown. I was a 4-H involved member, but never with livestock, always with machinery. one of the neatest things I've seen, and I understand there's kind of a push back towards this. And as a youth, I remember it being very strong. Was the county bred and born and bred livestock. It seems like the 4-Hers fairs all over kind of got away from that a little bit, more to an open show. But now it's not just a novelty. This is a big class, and that's really cool. And to see the kids out there doing it, supported and urged by the parents, the kids are the ones breaking the sweat and got their clothes dirty and doing the job. But I think they had an increase in livestock this year. Everything except for swine. I think the swine fell off a little bit in population. So that's not a good sign for swine per se. But everything else, the rabbits, the goats, the sheep, cattle, that's great. That's really good.
Tell us a little bit. We've talked a lot about the dairy, but you've expressed how great it is to work for the Holzbosch family. Can you tell us a little bit about the boys and how they run it? Just give us a kind of a rundown of the family.
Well, there's 3 boys, Wim, Vital, and Roel, and they all have their expert talents, oddly enough, in totally different fields that truly complement each other. They weigh the expectations of the other brothers and the decisions they make within their own realm of responsibility. So it's not just their thought, it's their brother's thoughts as well. And of course, don't count mom and dad out. Mary and Dominique are right there in the throes of things. And it's a lot of times in these circumstances, they either work tremendously well or they fail tremendously bad. And these are one of these circumstances where I see it working for generations tremendously well. Even Wim's kids, as young as his 3 kids are, his oldest, I'm not sure how old Lorelei is, 7 years old, maybe 8. If she has a choice of doing something in her day, it's feeding the calves. It's being involved with the dairy. So it's a pleasure to work for them, and it's a true. If you're going to have people do this kind of work in your backyard, these are the kind of people you want doing the work, because you can go to bed at night knowing it's going to get done and done right.
We've appreciated you guys being on board with us for Live at 5. You've allowed us to sit up here and just get to know everybody and talk with everyone. So it makes our job easy, and we appreciate you being along for the ride this year.
Well, you guys have welcomed us with open arms. We realize we're new at this, and we don't have a product to sell or a service to sell. We just want to do our part to publicly and vocally support all that we can, especially in the youth. And we do so through all of these events and supporting 4-H and FFA and a number of different organizations throughout the county. So we appreciate the opportunity to do that.
All right.
Okay, well, thanks, Matt, and thanks to the whole Holzbosch team for their support, not only of our show this year, but a lot of things across the fairgrounds, including the dairy and some other items. And then tonight with Let's Fish booth. So be sure to stop by and grab the fish before the end of the fair. So thanks to Matt, thanks to their sponsorship of our show, and for lots of other things across the fairgrounds. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be back for our next segment of the Live at 5. Perfect. That's it. It's
County Fairgrounds. It is the final night of the 24th Decatur County Fair. It's been a great week. We've had a lot of fun. We've got to talk to a lot of people and learn a lot of new things. So we've got another guest here this evening. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Mitch Sefton. I'm the youth pastor at the First Christian Church, and we are out here with the Strawberry Shortcake booth.
How many years has that booth been in existence?
That is a great question. We actually, one of the ladies that was one of the original starters of our Strawberry Shortcake booth helped cut strawberries this year, and she said we started in 1989. So we have been a staple of the fair for over 30 years. So yeah.
That's most people know that you're here on the north end of the commercial building, sort of northwest side of the fairgrounds. It seems like something that continues to grow, right? Like it seems like people are continuing to say, hey, that's a tradition that's now ingrained.
Absolutely. We have so many people that say they look forward to the shortcakes every year when they come out here, and we have multiple people that get multiple shortcakes throughout the course of the year as well. So yeah, it's been a blessing for our church and also the community, I think, as well as we continue to be a part of the Decatur County 4-H Fair.
Now, who all staffs your booth? How do you keep it going all week long? Because it's a lot of hours to put in.
It is a lot of hours, and we have so many amazing volunteers. So our youth ministry is actually the one that is the main recipient, and so we really encourage our kids from our church to get plugged in and involved. But we also have families from the church. We have people that cut behind the scenes. We have people that are making the shortcake. We buy the shortcake locally here at O'Mara's, but then we make the gluten-free as well, so we have that option too, and we have volunteers doing those things, and so it's just a big team of people. If I'm guessing, we have over 100 volunteers throughout the course of the week that really just in some way or form jump in and help out.
Now, the money that's raised during the fair, where does this money go to?
So what we've done with the money in the past, it always goes towards our youth in some way or another. And so this past couple years, our church has came alongside our kids to help pay for half of their church camp throughout the course of the summer. And so this year we took 23 students to high school camp, and then we probably had close to that as well going to junior high camp as well. So this is kind of the money that allows us to help partner with them to pay for half of their camp fees, so they don't have to foot the bill for all of the things that they're doing.
Now, there's different options when you're getting your strawberry shortcake.
Oh, absolutely.
So build us a shortcake from the bottom up.
Okay, so if you are gluten-free, we have the gluten-free option, which is gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, and egg-free, but it is not flavor-free. So it is fantastic, actually. And so, but we'll go shortcake with that, and then we'll go ice cream on top. And then we also have a dairy-free option, which we've done with it's the So Delicious. I think it's just what we can pick up at Kroger. That takes the place of the ice cream on those. And then we go strawberries, and that's the gluten-free option. Or if you want to go full bore and just you don't have to worry about all of those things, you're the cake, and then the ice cream, and then the strawberries, and then whipped cream on top if you have a preference. So, and I will say that we do have, with all of the storms this week, we have a lot of strawberries left. So I have been very adamant with our volunteers, be very generous with strawberries tonight. So this is the night to come and get one if you're going to get one.
Plenty of shortcake to be had, right?
Absolutely.
And what is the cost for a shortcake?
So individual is $6, or you can get a family, which is three individuals together, and you save $3 by doing it that. So that's a $15 win, and that comes in like a big to-go container. And I will say that you definitely get your money's worth when you get the family. If you're buying 3 or more anyway, it makes perfect sense to do that, because those containers are pretty big and they fill them pretty heftily. That's for sure.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us.
Awesome.
Thanks for being a part of the history here at the Decatur County Fair.
It's a pleasure. It's a blessing. Thank you guys so much for all you do as well.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you. Well, it has been a fabulous week again. We've had so many great guests. We've learned a lot of information, and I believe we've got another guest coming right on up, making her way up. In the meantime, I do want to take a moment and thank our broadcasters. We were able to carry all of the livestock shows. Bonnie Robbins, the Smith and Nobby families, Kylie Olson, Brian Huber, Garrett Schwerin, Jaden Lawrence, Andrew Gauss, Matt Mobley, and Kevin Price. A big thank you to all of them, because without them, we wouldn't have our livestock show. So we can't say thanks enough. All right, and we're going here now with our next guest. And pick the microphone there. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Shannon Christensen with Fall Festival.
All right, so Fall Festival's coming up.
Yeah.
And you are in charge of the pageant.
Erica is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the committee.
Okay, so tell us what's coming up with the Fall Festival.
We've got a few bands, and I wish I was more prepared. I'm not probably not a good person to answer that question about the entertainment and stuff.
That's okay.
It's 2 days, starts Friday. We'll kick it off around 5:30 and it ends Saturday evening.
All right. And I do know the applications for Mystery City and the Littles,
Yes,
that's all
they're live.
open.
They're live, yes. The
Okay.
Littles, the Junior Miss, and the Mystery City.
And how do people find those?
They'll be on our website. Yeah, the TreeCityFallFestival.com.
Okay.
And then you can go to our Facebook page, and we have information there. Reach out to us, send us an email. So,
Hoping to have a good turnout.
yes, I hope so. Yeah, we already have 6 littles signed up, so
Yeah.
6 little girls.
How many do you usually have?
With the littles, it just varies. I mean, we've had up to 14, 15 before, so it just varies every year. The girls, we've had, I think the most we've had 6 or 7 as far as the juniors go. And then the miss, it usually runs around 6 or 7.
And then how is there an entry fee or is there a fee that's
There is, don't quote me on this, I believe the misses is 100 sponsorship, and the littles I believe is 50. So, but that's on our page as well.
and then those are usually crowned Friday night first
Yes,
thing.
yeah, and then you just rain all weekend. So, yeah, just come and hang out, and then you have the whole year to attend events, and it's pretty nice.
I know I see the Littles and Mystery
Yes.
City and all kinds
Yeah.
of events, and we usually grab a photo and sort of talk about what they're working on. It's a
Yes.
great opportunity for them to be engaged in the
Yes,
community.
they love it.
The Tree City Fall Festival also is partnered with the Caleb Brown 5K.
Yes.
So that's on Saturday morning. So there's lots of elements. Of course, we've got the parade and the car show, and
We'll have our pet show again this year on Saturday afternoon. We will have a little cheer exhibition. It'll be Saturday morning right after the parade. I'm hoping that as soon as the floats roll by, the girls can hop off and that's
And they did the cheer competition last year as well, right?
Yeah, it's not really a competition, but it's just it's kind of nice to get the schools out there and let them show their stuff that and I loved it last year because all of the groups all got together and took a group picture. It was awesome. I loved it. So yeah, and they get to meet other girls that they don't normally get to see and in the community.
Very good. Well, we're looking forward to the Tree City Fall Festival. That'll be the next big thing here in Decatur County.
Yeah, we're excited to see everyone come out.
All right.
okay, perfect.
you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us and thanks for being part of the Live at 5.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break and then we'll be back for our next segment. The Live at 5 presented by Holzbosch Dairy and powered by Cobia Solar right here on WTRE from the Vinyl Solution stage in the Farm and Home building has sort of come to its end, Emily, for the 2024 season.
That was a fast week.
It has been really quick. We've had a great show. We've had a great opportunity to talk with so many long-term volunteers, new people, reigning royalty, the state fair queen, and those folks that are going to reign for the next year that are just getting started.
I think it's been great too, the amount of history that we've had on the show throughout the week. You know, we looked at the lemonade stand. They've been here, we're not even sure how many years. The booth for the short cakes we just heard. So when you start looking around the Decatur County Fairgrounds, the longevity and the history that's rooted here is amazing. I don't think you see that at every county fair.
No, and I think it's one of those things too where we're seeing traditions that have been built that are being passed on to generations, and then we're seeing new traditions that are also being built. And I think that that's something that fairs are really known for and are a great asset to the community, even though sometimes it's sweltering hot or pouring down rain or hailing. It's okay. We're all going to make it.
I had someone ask me today, did it really hail out there? And I said, well, let me just show you this video. It did hail.
Yeah, and it's been interesting too to talk about the longevity of the storm. But you know, it really takes a ton of people to make something like this happen. I mean, the fair committees, the commissioners, and the council have really been pushing that. They're going to restructure that for next year to make sure that longevity continues. The volunteers that come out and set up the fairgrounds, the extension office, the people that help with the buildings and the barns and the projects, the judges, it takes a ton of people behind the scenes.
It does. A lot of times it looks like the fair just pops up and it's open, and of course that's not the case, you know. And Lure, is they bring in an enormous amount of staff. We learned that earlier this week, around
nearly
80 to
90
people that they bring just for Decatur County to put on the fair. So we appreciate all that they do in keeping the community safe. Also, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of Tom Swain this year. That was a big accomplishment. So the kids that have made it through that program over the last 50 years, several were there last night. So we've had a lot of great moments here at the Decatur County Fair.
We have, and you can never forget the fair parade. Chris Ramey puts that together for the last few years, has done a wonderful job getting it organized and getting it sent off, and of course law enforcement, public safety that help shepherd that through. I know our Board of Works helps approve that each year. So it takes a ton. It would be interesting to actually keep track of how many is touched, from just making sure the grass is mowed on the midway before the first ride arrives, all the way through the end of the week, this week, of cleanup and getting it all put away and ready to go for the next event.
The amount of hours, I think, is unimaginable at this point. We do appreciate all of them. We want to sincerely appreciate the Fair Committee for supporting and allowing us to do our Live at 5 each night here from the stage and be across the fairgrounds. And we've had a lot of help here at the station. I do want to thank you for being a great co-host this year. And DJ and Tom have held it down back at the station, Morgan and Dave here at Live at 5 along with Kathy and Sandy. So it takes all of us and all of our families to make this happen. Otherwise, it just falls apart.
It does. It takes a huge, we have a lot of staff that's in the background that helps put it together. And I want to give a big shout out to Dave Henderson for making sure that all of our technology always is working, even though sometimes we may get grumpy with him. He takes care of us.
Did you say you were sorry yet?
I did not say I'm sorry yet, but that's okay. It may be later, next year.
Okay.
But big appreciative to them. We talked about the royalty being here, our family's Holzbosch Dairy. It's been great to learn so much about them and hear what they're doing in our community, not only as a sponsor, but honestly just as a great community partner. And then Cobia Solar has also been a big part of the Live at 5 this year as well.
They have. They've been great to work along with. I do want to remind everybody that Boy Scouts still have their drinks. They're $2 every flavor under the sun over there. The Community Healthcare Clinic is selling watermelon for $1 a slice a night, or a whole melon for $5 if you want to take it home with you. It looks like most food stands are all open and have all of their favorite things. So be it Let's Fish, the Smyrna Burger, lemonade, shortcake, tenderloins.
It's all out there, and it's still available. And then the other big thing tonight here at 6 o'clock in the Farm and Home building is WTRE's Attitude Festival kickoff finale. There you go. Now, what's the story behind that a little bit?
So those Attitude shirts started, we think this might be our 20th year. I've got to go back and look. But I came home from college one year and I said, what if we just make the most gaudiest shirt there is and people will wear it around and win a prize? I wasn't sure it would work, but obviously looking around, it's worked. So I wish the first year shirt was here. I haven't seen it yet. It was a horrible yellow shirt with horrible green writing on it.
Okay.
It was terrible. But we've made them a little more classy as the years have gone by. And this year we did a small town attitude theme. So if you've got your shirt on, come on over to the Farm and Home building starting at 6 o'clock. We'll sign up. Lots of big prizes to give away and just have some fun together as a community. So.
That's right. And it's been a great week. You know, we've had a special guest all the way from the sheriff, Rex McKinney at the hospital, Joey Cunningham from United Fund, and a ton more in between. So it's been a really great event. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. It's always fun to have the community surrounding the fair. And then you finally did get me convinced into doing one final.
Convinced is strong.
Pressured?
Let's go with pressure. I'll accept.
Drug into?
I will accept pressure.
Okay.
That's a good. I had a couple people today. They said, "Is he really going to ride a ride?" And I said, "He's going to do it, one
That's
way
right.
or another." So as I called you earlier, chicken wing, but you did show up on time.
That's right. We were there.
We were there. So we sincerely we thank everybody for all of your help this week. It's been a great week. And now, if you're watching on YouTube, or you can go back and watch it, we did ride. We never got the name of the ride, did we?
Pharaoh's Fury.
Pharaoh's Fury. We
Yeah.
did ride the boat, not once, not twice, but
3 times, just to make sure that we had it and that Tech had it. So we had to write it 3 times. We appreciate Lures, who gave us the opportunity for that. They were laughing right alongside of us outside of the camera. So if you're going to watch online, if you're listening, it'll be a little bit of an audio jumble, I'm sure. But please go back, watch it. And thanks to everyone for making this week so special. We're excited about 2025. And on behalf of the entire WTRE team, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of it. And we'll see you. We'll see you next year.
see you next year. Have a great last day of the fair.
Good evening and welcome back to the Midway. I promised you all week that I'd get him here, and well, lo and behold, here he is. Happy? I'm not so sure about that. We do want to thank our sponsors for Live at 5 this week: Decatur County REMC, Obermeyer Agri Group, Decatur County Recycling, the Napoleon State Bank, Stone's Farm Service, George's Pharmacy, Steer Heating and Cooling, Acre Automotive Group, Obermeyer Brothers, and Dave Henderson for Decatur County School Board.
Thanks to all of our sponsors who have brought the Live at 5 to you here on WTRE and on YouTube. Without them, we could not have done it. And thanks to Lures for this very special occasion.
We've had a great week, and we want to thank everybody that's helped us along the way. First, our families who help us be here all week long. Without them, we couldn't do it. Kathy, Sandy, BJ, Morgan, Tom, everybody back at the station, all of our guests on Live at 5. A big thanks to Whole Splash Dairy for being our prime sponsor this year for Live at 5, powered by Covia Solar, brought to you by Vinyl Solutions Stage. So we are going to look forward to next year.
That's right. We're going to keep on swinging into 2025 for the Live at 5 at 25. We hope you'll join us then. Thanks for being our guest for the 2024 fair season. We'll catch you next year.